Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. I am Karen Chaston and it's so good to have you here today with me. It is Monday the 11th of January in Australia and I'm really grateful that I have the time that next hour to share some thoughts with everybody because it is a new year and the 11th of the 1st is always a great day, 11 being a prime number, a master number. It's always great to be able to not so much deep dive into the numbers, but I think it's always great when we can just sort of look around and just see, where we're at. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you here from Brisbane. Are you still in lockdown? I hope not. I'm on the Gold Coast. So let us know. So today I'm going to deep dive into a couple of different things. I'm going to look at the first thing I think actually I'm going to look at is I'm going to read, as I was getting ready to come on, I found this little folder, this printout that I had, and it's called Your Happiness is a Gift. And I feel that sometimes we give away our happiness. We give it away to people or to things, saying things like, oh, when I have that or when I meet this person, I'll be happy. But our happiness is actually our responsibilities. And I'm really think that I'd like to read, I don't think I know. I'm going to read this, Your Happiness is a Gift, which was originally written by Robert Holden, who is a Hay House author, and he has a lot of programs and stuff on Hay House. So let's read it and then let's sort of discuss it. But before we do that, great to see that you're going to get out tonight at Tracy. Hi, Kate, and hi, Kaz. Great to see you all here. So let's read this, Your Happiness is a Gift. You are a gift bearer. You are the light of the world, and so is the person next to you. Do not forget your purpose. Do not be distracted with getting and having and toing and froing. Do not give in to fear and do not allow old wounds to blow you off course. Your healing is a gift. Your happiness is a gift. Your loving touch is a gift. Give yourself heart and soul and find out who you really are. You are gift unwrapped. Unwrap yourself now. Let your gifts fall to the floor and all over the world. Watch how your kindness transforms this cruel world. See how your love heals fear. Notice how your courage inspires us all. Let your smile release this sad old world. Give everyone you meet the star in your eye. Shine your light. Open your heart. Notice how your peace of mind makes any war more meaningless and harder to fight. Your happiness is a gift. It attracts angels from afar. Your smile is like champagne. Your laughter is like love. Your healing inspires us. Your presence is a miracle. Unwrap yourself now. Now, I just love that. And I'd love to know your thoughts on it because so often we do forget that we are a gift. We're a gift to ourselves and we're a gift to every single person who we encounter in our life. And it may just be a total stranger that you glance at while you're just say in a shopping centre. You just glance at them and you give them a smile. Have you ever done that? Have you ever just glanced at anyone and given them a smile and noticed their surprise in the fact that you've interacted that way? And I do it all the time, and I always am amazed that how just a little smile to a total stranger can sort of enlighten them, out to brighten their day. Because sometimes when we're out and about, and especially in the world that we're living in at the moment, things do seem to be a little bit harder and people seem to be not as connected as they could be. They seem to be just in this, it's all about me. I'm going through this. And I read a post, a Facebook post from a friend of mine who lives in North Carolina. And obviously, there's been a lot of stuff going on over there, which is really sad, because it could have been just so easy for someone who did a lot of good in his 4 years to have just walked away with that. But now, unfortunately, he seems to be doing things that aren't as ideal. But it is about us knowing that the way that we interact with people and the way that we can always go to love over hatred. And so often we can have a tendency when we're in fear to go to hatred. You're right, I'm right, you're wrong, and that's the end of the story, as opposed to trying to understand what people's differences about. And I'm not here to talk about America. I'm not here to talk about these things, but I'm here to sort of suggest to you, is there something in your life that at the moment you're struggling with? Are you struggling to get out of bed? You know, I love to help people to move beyond any kind of loss. And there is over 40 different kinds of losses. And it is about us looking at the way that we are doing life, the way that we're waking up each and every day. Do you wake up with an intention in your mind, or do you set an intention for your day? What I love to do is, I've got this little practice at the moment, and I'm going to share it with you. And I've been doing it now because I've got a little timer, and it told me this morning that I've been doing it for 64 days. So just over 2 months. And what I do is, after I wake up and go to the bathroom, I then lie on the floor with my legs up against the wall. And I lie like that for 20 minutes. And I have a little insight timer on my phone. So I put that on, and I don't know if you've ever used an insight timer, but what it does is it gives you a minute to prepare yourself, and then it will count 20 minutes out for you, or whatever time frame you suggest. And I have set it for 20 minutes because 20 minutes is a great time if you're going to do a meditation or for this exercise. So what I do is I put my legs up the wall, and then for that first minute when I'm preparing myself, I actually say a little saying, which I have came to me last year when I was doing a program, which I'm still in the program of doing, which is the 12 Rays of Ascension. And at race 7, there's a little saying that actually, it's over there, I won't get it, but it says, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. And I say that 9 times. And what that does is it centers me. It centers me into the now. It centers me, even though I'm here, it also connects me to the spirit world. And it's a really great little practice. So why I'm telling you all about this is because and then for the next 20 minutes, I will walk myself mentally and emotionally through my day that I have planned. And I will come up with my intention for all the different things that I have in my calendar, which I have obviously looked at before. And so I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Like I knew today I'd be here at 11 a.m. and I'd be sharing this information for you. So I intention on how I want to show up, the energy that I want to bring, but more importantly, that what I would like you guys to receive through what I'm talking about and all those sort of things. So are you setting intentions for your day? And it doesn't have to be a detailed practice like the way I've just described, but it is about you just taking time to say, well, this is who I'd like to be today. This is how I'd like to feel. This is what I'd like to give. And this is like what I'd like to receive, because it's important for us to understand that giving and receiving are reciprocal. So we don't just give, which a lot of us do tend to do. It's about us receiving in return. So if we're giving this, what would we like? Oops, there goes my camera. What would we like back in return? Now, it doesn't have to be any monetary, but it can be something as simple as a thank you. Or it could be, well, I'm doing this so that we can, I'm helping you with this so that then we can go and do this, which of course is always amazing. So it's about you actually starting to put intentions into all of your days, because then when you have an intention for the day, it's amazing not only how you show up, but how other people show up, because we're vibrations of each other. So if you are coming up to a level, people around you will come up and they'll meet you at it. Never go down to their level. Always come up, and you'll be surprised at how people energetically just come up to meet you. So I've been talking now for 12 minutes, and I'd like for you to let me know if you do set intentions. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Ifadar. I don't give messages, okay? I am not a medium, so I don't give you messages. So and I totally understand if you don't want to stay on my program. My program is all about giving people ideas and ways that they can move beyond any kind of loss in their life. Now, there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And whilst most of us think of death of a loved one is loss, there's far more. There's obviously a whole lot more apart from just death. There could be divorce, there could be a partnership breakdown, it could be a job loss, your health, your wealth, even your pets. Or if you look at what we've all experienced in 2020, there could be, loss of freedom, loss of choice, loss of identity, changing work conditions, changing social activities, recreational activities. There's so many loss events that we all need to understand is a loss event, and how we can move beyond them and create our better, loving life, which is what I'm all about. Yes. So that's what I'm all about. So it's really important that I feel that today I am talking about intentions, because if you are suffering from any kind of loss, this may be why you're here, or it may not be why you're here. But I'd love for you to type in what brought you when you saw my show, Beyond Lost, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. What was it that you thought, I really want to see what that's about? Because that's how I can assist you. I can stand here and I can talk about, what I would like to talk about. But it's about me being here for you, because my intention for today was to find out what's brought you here. Now, Tracy, I totally understand you're in lockdown, and I thank you for being here. And I am grateful and I can understand why you have written, thank goodness, that you'll be out after 3 days. And, and when we look at that, there's a lot of people all over the world who have been in a lot longer than 3 days. So how about we all just take a moment to actually send our love and blessings and healing energies to everyone in the world, so that they can heal in their lockdown, after experiencing it. And I haven't, because I'm on the Gold Coast recently. It is a bit like we're losing our choices. Our choices have been taken away. What we had chosen to do for the weekend, obviously we couldn't do. So it is about us looking, though, if that was the bad side of it, what was the good side of it? And it'd be great if you could share with us, Tracy, what you found to be great for you, in the fact that, you slowed down, you spent more time at home. Maybe you decided to do an activity that you've been wanting to do for ages, or maybe you sat down and watched a show that you've been wanting to watch for ages, or maybe you just did nothing. And you know what? doing nothing every now and then is fabulous. There is nothing better than that. Hi, Rani. Great to see you. Okay, so if no one's typing any comments, I'm now going to go on to the next thing that I have on my list for us to share. And this is that I picked a card just before I came on. And today I've taken them from the Channeled Spiritual Guidance cards, which are by Marcia Quinton. And these are amazing cards. They just look amazing, as you can see. But the energy of them is always great. Now, I purposely picked this card because it's not only for me, it's for everyone who is here. And hi to you, Karen. It's great to see you here. Right. So today's card is called the Key. And as you can see, it looks like a key. There, I'll just get it into, so my lights don't interfere. As you can see, it looks like a key. It's card number 16, which adds to 7. So that in itself may mean something to someone. So it's called the Key. The key for opportunity has arrived. The key has come into your life today to consider your purpose, as it will open any door. Being able to open any door you desire has the ability to change your life with limitless possibilities. Consider just for a moment where this doorway may lead you. The direction of choice is yours and will open your way into changing aspects of your life, both emotionally and spiritually. Use the key to unlock the doors before you. You always have choice and free will to open any door you desire. Open the door that calls to your soul and walk through to find your wishes, hopes, and dreams on the other side. What a beautiful key. Now, card. I have read this card before, but I didn't read it today. I just got it out and I wanted to read it. Things. So let's have a look at this because it's so beautiful. How many times do we limit ourselves? Do we feel that doors are closed to us? Whether they are or whether they're not, we put it into our mind to say, oh, no, that person doesn't want to talk to me, or no, I better not go there. I'm not welcome there. And we make up these things in our mind and we honestly think that they're true. And in some cases, they probably are. But in most cases, they're not. So what key are you going to use to open what door today? I'd really love for you to say, what's something that you've been really wanting to explore, but you've just been putting it off, saying, no, it's not right for me at this time. We do live in a world of infinite possibilities, but sometimes we feel that they're limited, our possibilities. We only feel that we only have one or two choices we can make. Whereas when we understand that our world is infinite, then we know that we have infinite possibilities. So why are we limiting ourselves? Why do we choose to say that we can't do that, or, we don't have the skills to do that, or we don't have the desires to do that? It's really important for us all to understand that our life is the product of the things that we believe. And if we believe that a door is closed to us, then the door will never open. So let's sit back for a second and just think of a door that you have been really wanting to open for ages. And let's look at, if you took the time today to do whatever comes to you in order to open it. Remember, your guides have put you on this call with me, okay? I didn't know he was going to show up when I drew this card before I came on today. So I'd like for you to sit back and think, how many doors have you been really wanting to open? How many doors have you thought to yourself, oh my God, if this just happened, my life would be completely different? It comes back to your happiness at the start that I read. How different would your life be if that one door just opened for you? Take your time to actually, a door to my future. It's a door to wherever you want it to be, Rani. Hi, Kerry. Nice to see you here. It's a door to wherever you want it to be. Is it a door into a new relationship, a personal relationship? Is it a door into a new job? Is it a door into a new skill that you've been wanting to learn, or a new activity that just brings you joy? It could be dancing, or it could be learning to play a new instrument. It's whatever key that you ever want to a door that you've been thinking about. Because now is the time, right? We're now 11 days into our new year. Now is the time for you to actually sit back and go, how many doors do I want open this year? Have you actually done a plan for 2021? Have you actually said, this is what I want to learn this year? This is where I want to grow. These are the relationships I'd like. These are the investments I'd like to do. And, you know, investments can be as much about money as it can be in time. And when we understand that our time is our most valuable resource, it's really good for us to start to say, well, how am I investing my time? What are the things that I'm doing that are actually enhancing me? Or am I doing these things just because I've always done them? And good on you, Rani. Your happiness, it is everything. Rachel, I'm in need of the door to my spiritual abilities to be reopened. Well, Rachel, that is fantastic, and thank you for writing that. Now, I am not the person that can assist you with that, but I know for a fact there are a lot of people that actually help you how to reopen your spiritual abilities. Now, I like the fact that you've written reopened. So that were they opened before in this lifetime? Or have they always been closed and it's now for you to open them in this lifetime? Because it's really interesting when we look at the words that we use and the things that we type. Because to me, it sounds like they were opened and then you've closed them down and now you're ready to reopen them again. Now, where do you live, Rachel? Because I can recommend so many people who can assist you with that. And the first person that comes into my mind is Beth Elaine Haynes. Now, I'll type her name in here. You can type her name into the website, and yes, you said yes, as in they were opened and now you close them, now you want to reopen. Okay, Campbellton. So thank you, Rachel. So I don't have Beth's email or anything just here at the moment, but I suggest you type her into the web, okay? And if you can't find her, just send me an email and I'll connect you to her. But I can tell you right now, if you type her name in, she will come up. She'll come up on Facebook. She'll come up, on her website, and I don't have her card here. She is perfect person to assist you in reopening your spiritual abilities. When I mentioned before that I did and still in the process of doing the 12 Rays of Ascension, Beth is actually the course author, and it's an amazing course, and that in itself is amazing. And I know that she has online programs. She lives on the Gold Coast, but she has online programs which will that you can go into via Zoom, the whole lot of it. So I highly recommend that you connect with her. As I said, I'm not that person. I'm the person that helps people to move beyond loss. But in saying that, we're all very intuitive, right? It's about us learning how to reconnect to ourselves and to trust ourselves. And that's what I do. I help people to do that shift back to them. Okay. And what you said is you want the door open to your spiritual abilities, right? Do you journal? Because I've found that journaling is one of the quickest ways back to you. Even if you just grab your book and you write down, who am I? Or where am I going? Or what am I doing? And then just allow the answers to come to you, to reconnect to you. You'll be surprised on how amazing it. Yeah, right. Start doing that, because you said you want to reconnect. So the reconnect to me is that you've already been there. And journaling is a great way. And what I found with journaling is it's the fact that you use most of your senses when you start journaling. You really do start to reconnect to who you are emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. You sort of got the whole you sort of happening as you're writing. And it's different to typing, because as you move your hands with the pen, you sort of flow with the pen. So you're more in flow with who you are. And if you just write, right, even if you write, I don't even know what I'm going to write, right, and then go from there. Don't filter, just write. Set a timer for 5 minutes and just write whatever comes into your head for 5 minutes. When the alarm goes off, just stop and then read what you've written. Okay, I have, but stress in my life blocked me. Okay. And stress will do that. You know, we so don't understand stress, what stress does to our body, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, is we really don't understand it. But once you start, are you using your breath as well? Because that is another thing that will reconnect you to you. And our breath is designed, okay, I'm going to spend, like, a lot of you may know this and may not know. So let's deep dive into your autonomic nervous system, right? Now, I learned this when I was in my early 50s. And I was like, oh my God, why didn't I understand this at a younger age? My whole life would have been completely different, especially my corporate life, when I was, you know, a senior manager for over 25 years and a CFO of a publicly listed company. It would have been completely different, because I would have understood how it works. So let me go into it. So there's two branches of the autonomic nervous system. Now I'm going to call it the ANS now, because autonomic nervous system is a mouthful. Okay, so I'm going to call it the ANS. So the ANS, there is two branches. So the first, yes, and I do use my breath. That's good. But if you're not tapping in as much to who you are spiritually, maybe you're not allowing your breath to do exactly what it's meant to do. Maybe you're not holding it long enough. So let's go into this. So the first branch of the autonomic nervous system is the sympathetic branch. Okay. Now the sympathetic branch is where we actually start to, it was designed for when we had to run away from saber-toothed tigers. It helps us to go into fight, flight, or freeze. It helps us to be able to do whatever we want to do, to fight, to do this. Okay. Now, when we're in the ANS, right, which is when we're in stress a lot of the times, we actually, our digestive system closes down. Everything goes to our extremities so that we can run faster, fight faster, do all of those things. Okay, that's the sympathetic branch. Now, the other side is called the parasympathetic, and that's known as the rest and restore. So when we're in the parasympathetic nervous system, that's when our digestion comes back into play. That's when our body starts to function the way it's want to. If you I like to sort of liken it to a dolphin, right? Now, have you ever looked at a dolphin? Okay, now the dolphin, they just love to frolic in the ocean. They're very community minded. They really do hang out together and they love it. And they're always so joyous. So that's your parasympathetic nervous system. Whereas your sympathetic nervous system is more like a shark, right? That means you're like on attack. You're just going. Now we require both branches of the ANS. The issue is that probably for the last, say, 30 years, probably even longer, but let's just go for the past 30 years, most of us have been living in our heightened state, okay, 24/7. So we're not having these extremes of going between the two systems. And the two systems is what creates balance. So through our breath, we can, if we're in a heightened state, and it sounds to me, Rachel, from what you've written, that a lot of the time with your children's mental health, you are probably in a heightened state because obviously if you're protecting your children and you're making sure that everything's fine, you will be in a heightened state. So, and to bring ourselves down, we can use our breath. Now, the easiest way to do it is through, just say, for example, you breathe. First of all, before you breathe, it's always best to exhale first, because once we empty our lungs, then we can fill them back up, and that's how we breathe. So we actually start our breath on the exhale, whereas most people think we start our breath on the inhale. So we exhale first, and then we breathe in for, say, 4, hold it for 4, and then breathe out for 6. So to go into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and restore, the dolphin energy, you will breathe out longer. So you'll exhale longer than when you inhale. And the reverse is for your shark or your sympathetic nervous system. So you will breathe in longer than what you exhale. So you breathe it in and you exhale it, right? And that's the difference, how you can go to one or the other. Now, you may say, why would I want to go into my sympathetic nervous system, right? Because don't I want to be in rest and restore? Well, not always. Just say, for example, for me, if I came onto here today and I was completely in my rest and restore, will you be like, oh, she's not showing up for me, she's sort of only half here, or you're about to go into a meeting and you want to be present. So you want to be like, go, 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 go. But then, of course, when you came out of that meeting, that's when you would take the time to breathe. So breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 6. Do that 3 or 4 times. That will bring you into your rest and restore. So you've come down from being in that meeting and now you're not as heightened. So now you can carry on with your day. So that's and we've always got our breath with us. It's not as though we need to, I didn't bring it with me. You've always got it with you. So that's a quick way for you to come back into your not so heightened state. Okay, so now I'm going to read your comments. Okay, good idea. I have it stress in my life. Blocks me. Okay. Hope that was helpful, Rachel. Past trauma is playing a role too. Now I can assist you with that, right? I help people to move beyond any kind of loss, and trauma is created from loss. And help them how to go into, to create a life that they live and love each and every day. So one of my things I love to say is life is way too short for anyone to be suffering and grieving over any incident in their life. Email me, Rachel. I've got my email address here and we can go from there. And, there's a whole lot of different things that I'm doing this year. But I always have my online programs. I always are there for people if they want to be there. So here's my email address, which I have also posted up the top. Just email me. We can go from there. If I can help you with anything, I'd love to help you. And if I can't, that's okay. I will normally redirect you to someone who I feel can assist you, which is always great, isn't it? Because it's, I don't have the answers to everything. It's interesting, Rachel. My 27-year-old son passed away in 2011 as well. So that's a correct connection between all of us. So I have an idea of what you're going through. Obviously, I don't know what you're going through. I can't, I can feel for you, but I can't feel your feelings. So even if you just love to have a chat, I can totally understand where you may be at. Obviously, every relationship is different. So I would never assume that I know exactly what you're going through or what you're feeling. But I'm more than happy to have a chat with you anytime. You've got my email address. Just you can go from there. And losing a child is not easy, but any loss isn't easy. And that's something that, I love to help people to understand is there's no hierarchy in loss. A lot of the times we think, a death trumps this, and a death of a child will trump a death of a parent and things like that. There is no such thing as a hierarchy in any kind of loss, because what we've lost is a relationship. Okay, and it could be through death, it could be through divorce or a job loss or any of those different 40 plus loss events. And it's really important for us all to understand that we don't know what the two people in that relationship was actually like. Okay, I have no idea what your son Rachel and your relationship was like, just like you have no idea what my son and my relationship was like. My husband had a different relationship with Dan than what I had with Dan. So obviously we grieved and suffered differently. So it's important that when we have friends and family who are going through any kind of loss, that we don't just say the things that have been said for centuries and centuries and centuries. Things like, oh, you'll just give it time, you'll get over it, just things like that, or I'm sorry for your loss. And it's really important for us to actually know that every loss is unique to that relationship, just as we are all unique. So it's important for us to say, things like, I don't know what you're going through, but if you'd like to share it with me, I'm here to listen. But then really listen. Don't just listen to respond. They don't want you to fix them. They don't want you to tell them what to do. They just want someone to listen, because most people are really uncomfortable around loss. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to, know what to do. So it's really important for us to just be there and listen to them. And that's why I just, my response was, if you want to talk, I'm here to listen, if that makes sense. Thanks, Rachel. And yeah. But, I'm a great believer. Like, my son is with me all the time. He's showing me signs all the time. Everything I'm doing now is because Dan passed, right? I probably would never have left my corporate career if Dan was still alive. Actually, I know I wouldn't, because obviously I went looking for a better way to move beyond loss, because there was no therapist, there was no counsellor, there was no, psychiatrist or psychologist that could assist me with the way I wanted to be assisted. So I went looking, because I knew there had to be a better way. And that's part of my accounting background, in the fact that I was always like that at work. I was always like, there has to be a better way to do this. There has to be a better way to do this. There has to be an easy way to do this. And that's why I would achieve so much in one day, is because I kept looking for better way, better way, better way. And so that's what I did with loss. And that's through deep diving into it is how I have created all my programs to assist people how to move beyond loss. It's how I've done it in that process. And that's why I'm here sharing, because I don't want anyone else to have to go through what I went through. I want to help them and show them, you know what, this is the 5-step process that I have created that has worked for me and all of my clients all over the world. So why wouldn't I be telling people that you don't have to grieve and suffer for the rest of your life? You can complete the relationship. You can complete the emotional turmoil that you may be going through and create your better everyday life. Now, I'm a great believer, and this may annoy some people, and that's okay. I'm not telling you to believe it. I'm telling you what I believe, in the fact that Dan and I probably set this up before we even came down here, that he would pass when he was 27, and then I would stop what I was doing, and then I would start doing something completely different. And I know this is my purpose in life. And it's okay if you don't believe that. I have no problems with you not believing that, because it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. I'm just here to share that it can be easy for a whole lot of other people. So now I'm just going to read these comments. Right. I totally understand, Michelle, and I highly recommend, and I will actually be sharing. Why don't I share it with you now for everyone? Because it seems like there's a lot of people who have come onto the program. I highly recommend that you download my ebook, Life After Loss. Okay. It gives you a lot of the foundation, a lot of the things that I found that helped me to understand, and also helped me to create the programs that I did. You can move beyond loss. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy. But when you have a structure, this is what you can do, the steps that you can actually take. And a lot of it is deep diving into you, because you are the master you are seeking. You have the answers for you. I can't give you the answers, right? I can guide you towards you finding your answers. And if anyone tells you that they have the answers for you, I'd be a little bit like, no, you don't. You don't know me. You've never walked an inch in my shoes. People can guide you to your answers, but it's really important that when you find your answers, you don't go comparing them to someone else's answers, because they're never going to be the same. They might be similar, but they won't be 100% the same. And that's why my programs are designed for you to come up with the answers. And I am just your guide. That's all I do, is I guide you on how to find your answers. So it's important that you understand that you are the master you are seeking. And Michelle, my condolences for losing your husband in 2020. It's never easy to lose anyone, but I'm pretty sure that you know that he's there. I hope that you know that he's there, and I hope that you know that he's guiding you. I am not a medium. I won't be telling you that he's there and then giving you a message. I just know for a fact that they hang around, and they don't want you to be sad. They don't want you to be grieving. They want you to be living and loving your life, which is what it's all about, because you're not going to be the same after whatever has happened. But it is about you then creating a life that you can achieve all your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And I know as a couple, a lot of the time your hopes, dreams, and aspirations are wrapped up in this other person. And when they pass, or they leave you, through divorce or stuff, we get stuck and we're like, oh my God, how can I possibly go on to the next phase? How can I go on without them? What's the point of living without them? Well, the point is for you to do the deep dive, is for you to complete the relationship, the emotional relationship, and then for you to actually design a life that you live and love each and every day, where you can achieve your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And sure, they may be some that you're going to bring along from the past relationship, or maybe they may all be new. But just know that you can still create them all. There might be a slight twist to them, but there's nothing stopping you from actually creating them. And it sort of brings me back to to both of the things that I've read today. And I don't know if you've been on online, or all of you, but it brings you back to, your happiness is your gift, which is what I read earlier from Robert Holden, or the key. And it's about finding your key to the doors that you have been feeling are closed to you. Because today we've been given this message that the doors are ready to be opened. We've given you the key. So take the key and say, right, these are the doors that I want opened, and set a plan on when you would like to open them. Actually create a list today. Take time, I've only got 15 more minutes. So take time at, 12 o'clock Queensland to stop and write down all of those doors that you would like opened in 2021. And then you can set a plan on when and how to open them. You have the key. So there's no reason why the door cannot be opened. It clearly says here, use the key to unlock the doors before you. You always have choice and free will to open any door you desire. Now, our limiting beliefs stop us from opening doors. I know my journey from when I left corporate to today has not been as easy as what I would have thought it was been, because I limited myself. I actually thought a lot of doors were closed to me. But now I realize there is no door closed to me. It's only in my head. It's only my belief. So I do a practice where I bust all my limiting beliefs. And you too can do that practice as well. It's about sitting down and actually saying to yourself, why do I believe this? And more than likely, it's not even your belief. It's probably come from your parents or your teachers or your grandparents, or it could have even come, in with you in your DNA. It could actually belong to someone 7 generations back that you have this limiting belief. So the first question is to ask yourself, why do I have this limiting belief? And then the second question is it true? Is it true? And go searching to see if it's true. Ask people, do you believe this? And you will find just as much evidence that proves it wrong, that proves it right. So then you can say, well, if half the people don't believe this and the other people do, or I have evidence-based that this is right in some circumstances and it's wrong in other circumstances, then you can say, well, why do I believe this? And then another question is, how is this belief serving me? Is it working for me or against me? What would it be like if I actually changed this belief and I actually just wrapped it up into a little envelope and threw it away for 7 days? How different would my week be if I didn't have this limiting belief? And then you will actually go, wow. And then you can create another belief that actually serves you. It can be a similar theme that will serve you. And the belief is that every door is open to you. All you've got to do is walk up there courageously and knock on it, or use the key that I've given you today to unlock it. It's that simple. So now that you know that you can bust through a limiting belief because you have that key, right, that will open all doors for you, what are you going to do with this key? What are we really going to do? Okay, right. Now I'm going to read some more, put some questions in, and I'd love to do this. Right here. So, where am I going back to? Yep. Yes. Yes, my condolences, Sarah. It's not easy. If you would like to talk, my email is here. Just reach out to me and we can set up a time to have a Zoom conversation. Don't you love the world we live in? Like, we can Zoom to anywhere in the world. I have had the pleasure of working with clients all over the world, and it's all through Zoom, and it's so great. Before COVID hit last year, I was ready to do 3-day retreats, as in live retreats. And then it hit and I was like, what am I going to do? So I took everything online, and it's the greatest gift that has ever happened, because now, as I said, I'm helping people to move beyond their loss all over the world. And I just love it. It's just so great. People like Daniela, who was in Scotland, she's an Italian lady living in Scotland, and her husband had passed 18 months before. And through our work process, she's now living in Switzerland. And she didn't think she'd be able to move to Switzerland until, 2022. And with us working together for 2 months, that's all we worked together for. And it wasn't, 2 months every week. It's a 5-week program. And she just, what am I waiting for? Why aren't I unlocking these keys? Why aren't I using this key to unlock these doors? And that's what we did over that time. And she's so grateful. Imagine being in Scotland at the moment, in winter, in lockdown, whereas now she's in Switzerland. Sure, it's still winter, but guess what? There's not as much lockdown. It's not as bad as what it is in the UK. So, time to start thinking about what keys have I actually been throwing away? What can I use today to help me? Okay. Right. Oh, good. I'm glad, Rachel, he's always sending you messages. I hope you're listening. My son, Dan, he's always like, right, Mum, I've got you by the back and we're now going here, there, wherever I choose to go because you didn't listen to me when I was alive. So it is quite amazing because he, in many ways, is my spiritual advisor as well. So it is beautiful. Maybe your son is the spiritual advisor that you're looking for. Maybe something for you to think about when you start writing and locking down the keys. Right. My biggest blockage is for other people. Can you explain that, Rachel, if you're still online? That'd be great. Okay. Oh, I love that. How amazing. You're a spiritual drawer. Wow. That is so amazing. It's so important for you to be able to tap back into that. And I'm sure your son will help you. Why don't you just go out and buy some really cool pens and start just drawing. Maybe when you're writing down. Oh, how beautiful. Yeah. Oh, what was your son's name who passed away? Okay, I'll just keep going through the notes because I want to make sure. Yes. Now, funny you should say that, Rachel. I would really love for you to get in contact with me because one of my projects this year is I'm going to write I'm not really sure what it is yet, whether it's a book. I know it's going to be some cards for children to understand loss and grief. And it's not just for death, it's also for divorce, a whole lot of it, to help them to understand and move through it. Now, Dan, he was 27 when he's passed, and he had a twin brother who was also 27, obviously, and an older brother who was just about 30 when he did pass, nearly 10 years ago. So, they were older, so they could understand it. But when you have younger children, deaf and stuff is a subject that most people are not very comfortable about talking about. And it's really funny, I have a friend. Her name is Anne, and she's roughly the same age as me. But she said when she was younger, she had this really great relationship with her grandfather. And her grandfather, when she was 6, went away and never came back. And no one ever told her where he went. And she just thought, he didn't love me anymore. He went away. Now, as she got older, she realized that he had passed away. But no one ever sat her down as a 6-year-old to explain what had happened to her grandfather because I guess they didn't know what to say. But the thing is, for a long time, she thought it was her. She thought that he didn't love her anymore. He just went away and he didn't come to hang out with her and stuff like that. So it's really important that people understand that even if we are uncomfortable at talking about loss, people need to understand it, especially children. They need to understand, they'll have animals that'll die. They'll be able to understand that our plants die, all those sort of things. So it is easier, and that's the project that I'm working on. Maybe you are the one that's going to help me in doing the drawings for it, for my cards or my this or that. Let's talk. There is no such thing as coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. So I would love for you, as I said, to reach out. Okay, now, right, Kerry. I'm losing a Facebook friend who I had contact with for years. I haven't been coping. I can understand, Kerry, what you may be going through. It's never easy when someone's sick and it's a friend who you're very close to, who may be passing soon. If you'd like to talk, my email's there. Just reach out and we can have a chat and we can go from there. Or read my book. Download the book and read it. And my condolences. But look after yourself. If you're sick, you can never assist anyone else. So look at the ways that you can do it. Denise, I don't do readings. I'm not. I just help people to move beyond loss. I need to hurry up. I've only got 5 minutes left. Yeah, I love that, Rachel. Brandon, oh, beautiful. He's okay. I haven't seen your profile picture. I'll have a look at it after. Okay, I can help. Yep, could be awesome. Yeah. Okay. I may help. I'll get you. I'm not going to say one A or the another, but I know that look, everything happens for a reason, so I'm open to anything. Thanks, Kerry. So everyone, are there any more questions? Because I'm literally down to 4 minutes. It's so funny. So many people say to me, oh, how do you do an hour live show once a week? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they just go, well, what do you talk about for an hour? And it's been through, I'm so grateful for everyone being here. It's through the interactions that keep us going. Sure, I always have a theme and I do a little bit of work before I come on, but I don't, plan the whole hour. This is what I'm going to say for the next hour. Obviously, you can obviously see that through the way we have discussed everything. Though I really am grateful for you all being here. I highly suggest that if we've interacted and you'd like to email, you have my email address in the thread, and in the beginning. And if you'd like to download the book, just go to KarenChaston.com and /life after loss, obviously with hyphens in between. I highly recommend that you get it because there are so many loss events that can affect our lives. It's not just death of a loved ones. There are over 40 different loss events. And it really is time. We've just now moved into the age of Aquarius, and it is time for us all to have more love in our life. And when we understand loss in the way that I assist people to understand loss, it's a lot easier for you to go from loss to love. And our whole life is a journey, as you can see in my sign behind me. Our whole life is a journey of going in the infinity sign. How do I get that? I've got to go over that way. There you are, there. In the infinity sign, it is a journey of going from love to loss and then back to love. But it's an infinity journey our whole life. Because we live in a duality system. We're not going to stay in one lung for too long. So it's about us understanding, right, okay, I'm in loss at the moment. How do I get back to love? And obviously we then want to stay in love for as long as possible, but life is going to throw you things so that you will then go into loss. But once you know how to easily go back to love, you won't be spending so long in the loss scenario. You'll be spending more of your time in the love scenario. And isn't that what we all want at the end of the day? Okay. Thank you all for being here. I'll just read Rachel's comment. Everything happens for a reason. No, you didn't hog my feed. I just fed off you, actually. You're in my feed and I just fed off you and I just went with that. And that's another thing for us all to know. Don't be so fixated in that things have to be this way. Be open. There's infinite, limitless numbers of possibilities. So even if it doesn't come in the way that you designed it, just allow the flow to go. I didn't go into overdrive. I had things to say that I haven't said. So what? I'll say them next week. Maybe or maybe not. It doesn't really matter. Whatever is best serving everyone at this time has been said today. So thank you, Rachel. I really do appreciate you being here, and look after you, because at the end of the day, if you don't look after you, how can you be there for anyone else? That's what we all really do require to understand. And that's why I mentioned the autonomic nervous system. The more that we understand how we can look after ourselves, how we can direct our energy, how we can, go up when we want to go up, how we can go down when we want to go down, how we can rest and restore, how we can either be a shark or a dolphin. It's that simple. And that's what's all for us to understand. And the more time we can spend in our dolphin energy, the more that we can actually be and create everything that we're here to create. So thank you for being here. I am sending you all love and blessings. Good luck, everyone who may be in lockdown, who may not be in lockdown. And just remember that you have a choice in the way that you react to everything. So go to love before you go to anger or to fear. Thank you, everyone. Bye.